And then a couple things that I wanted to showcase. I know we don't got that much time, so I'm going to put a couple links in the chat. Oh, it was playing behind the scenes. Okay. I was gonna, since we are kind of running a little low on time, I'm not going to watch the video in this call, but I'm just going to put them in the chat. I know I have put these also in the JourneyTEAM general chat, but customer service wave 2 release as well as sales wave 2 release. And there are some pretty interesting things that are coming. So I'm going to share my screen to show our JT demo environment because it has some of this in there. So not all of the features listed in those videos are available for preview yet. Some of them are coming out in preview in like a couple months. So we'll kind of get there. But some of these that are pretty interesting is that I'm sure some of you have seen that Omnichannel has workspaces. I'm only going to go a couple minutes, and then Callie and Heather also had some marketing stuff. And I didn't want them to stress out.
It's all good. It's all good. I really love these YouTube videos.
Okay, yeah, she's buttering us up. You see that? She's trying to get out of something. So a couple things that's interesting. So for those that have seen, I know Jeff has shown us a lot of omnichannel stuff in the past, but omnichannel historically has been the only kind of customer service app that had the workspaces where you could have the additional tabs up here across the top. So in customer service, you now get workspaces independent of omnichannel. You don't need omnichannel to have this experience. Okay, so that's one thing that's kind of interesting. Another item is that they have this new customer service admin center. I'm not sure exactly how new this is. I don't remember seeing this before, but even if you were to go into the customer service hub, psych, this one. We go to the customer service hub and we try to navigate to the customer service administration area or service management. It's going to give us a reminder that, hey, you now need to go to the customer service admin center. So before we used to manage customer service right from the customer service hub. Now we do it here. So there's some kind of really cool things here that also kind of gives us an idea. We've started to notice this trend from Microsoft and with Dynamics is that they're starting to add like these kinds of interfaces to increase the usability and experience of CRM, right? And trying to kind of consolidate and showcase some of this data without it just being, hey, you're navigating to a bunch of records and you're manipulating data. Because that's often a complaint we get with Dynamic CRM is that it's very powerful. You can set it up really nice, but it kind of looks and feels it's just data in a database and everybody knows it. So they're trying to kind of give us some additional experiences. You can kind of see how this transition in the sales administration area, in marketing, and now it's in customer service. And now they're starting to add, excuse me, they're adding quick steps, essentially wizard-like opportunities that will guide you through the setup process, which is really cool. Now, this is all stuff you don't need to do this wizard to set up customer service. Like this is optional, but you can do this and it'll guide you through all of the steps, right? So if me as a normal user, like if I wasn't a CRM consultant, right? Maybe I don't know about all these steps and now it's going to guide me through them. So kind of cool. There are a couple interesting things in here, right? Where it requires a shared mailbox where you don't necessarily need to do one, but it's required for setting up, going through this wizard. So that part's kind of interesting. But it also lets you identify what channel you want to do this for. So voice and chat are not available yet in this wizard, but that's something really cool. And they've been kind of teasing us that SMS, might be, if you watch that Sales Wave 2 release, is that they're showing an interface of the Sales Hub with a baked-in SMS chat conversation widget. So I think that there's some things that are coming that are going to be pretty exciting. But I wanted to show this kind of wizard setup, the new customer service experience, and just go to.
Aren't voice and chat more omni-channel related?
Correct. They're starting to make it to where they're a little bit. I think they're
I wonder if that's a
trying
licensing thing.
Yeah, it could be licensing. I think when I was trying to do chat, it was we didn't have a Power Virtual Agent bot set up. So I actually talked to Jess about helping set up a Power Virtual Agent bot so we could kind of play around with that. So hopefully soon, I'm going to have it to where we can kind of see that Power Virtual Agent bot as it's set up on the demo portal as well as the demo Teams environment. And then I'm curious if, kind of like you mentioned, is the voice is tied to me, voice and SMS might be tied to omni-channel, but you can see that it's kind of everything's getting very interconnected. And so I'm kind of curious of what the, like if are they all just merged and just omni-channel is like a higher tier of customer service or something like that. But I thought this was really slick because it kind of walks you through everything. And there are. The other thing I wanted to show is if we go back to the workspaces, something that has historically only been omni-channel, as far as I'm aware of, is agent scripts, to where we couldn't use agent scripts because that was specific for omni-channel. But if I were to go into, open up a case. So now if you open up a case from inside of the customer service workspaces, you can kind of see the navigation here on the right's a little different. I still have a Microsoft Teams widgets. I now have this Smart Assist, which looks like it's based on AI and it'll kind of be querying the environment. And then you also have agent scripts. So this is pretty cool. And I think that this is going to be a big deal because this comes up a lot with just normal customer service implementations. And we would, there's a couple different ways around it, right? We'd kind of just lead and guide them to the business process flow, let it kind of act as your script and direction, or maybe even the help panes. But this kind of takes it to a whole nother level. And so I'm going to work with, I'll be working with Jess, kind of setting up some agent scripts here, just so we can kind of see what it looks like inside of JT demo. So pretty cool. Go ahead, Scott.
So when you first said agent scripts, I was thinking Power Virtual Agents and that it was automated, but this is looking more like this is the thing that the guy is supposed to read to you or the gal,
Yep.
Have you tried turning it on and turning it off? Have you tried? Are you sure it's plugged in? Kind of stuff. Okay.
No, that's the only step that really matters is that top one. Just you turn on, turn off again. But okay. No, you're right. There is a difference between the agent script here is like the dialogue, and the Power Virtual Agent is more of the automated kind of bot that can kind of guide you through some conversations. So,
right. So, and then that brings up the question of, wouldn't we have just done it with an embedded iframe web resource before? So, does this really bias anything other than maybe easier deployment?
Yeah, I think easier deployment. Customer can maintain it. I mean, granted, the customer, depending on how we built it, they can maintain it there too. But I can't think of too many implementations I've done where we would try to get around the agent script unless they use the old, what is it called, Unified Service Desk, for those that are cursed enough to have experienced that. That used to be the only real place to do like an actual agent script outside of omni-channel. So I've never built anything custom, so I think that this will be a huge boon to where it's more config, it's baked into the system, and we can just rock and roll. I'm curious to see how it does conditions and stuff, so we'll play around with that. But I just wanted to showcase some of this as far as features that are coming out that are available for preview. Some of these I think that are getting closer to release than others, but I think there are, just here with the workspaces, depending on the customer, like I think that there's probably immediate thought that needs to occur as we're kind of going into customer service implementations, just by way of kind of what's available now. compared to before. Not that it's always going to fit every customer, right? But it might make a big difference. So that's what I wanted to get through. Please go watch the video recordings. Let me go, since we have 1 minute left. And you know, like I like to pretend like things are wrapping up and then I just keep going. So over here, we can see my metal music. And then here, this is that SMS chat widget. So this is inside of Dynamic Sales. And there's like, I forget which app this is, but it also has like some rate rankings as far as leads over here on the left. But this looks like, as far as I know, this looks like an out-of-the-box SMS widget that Microsoft might be coming out with. I know I kind of reached out to Postma to see if this looks like kind of what it is in the omnichannel side. But this, and I have seen no release notes specific for this. It's like they teased it to us in this video and gave us nothing. So I'm hoping it's coming out sooner rather than later because this is a big thing that customers ask for. And then it would just kind of further, I think it's kind of one of the main things that I think is missing out of the box for the platform, because then you have everything. We have Teams calling, we have SMS, we got chat, like bots, like everything is fully baked in. So it's kind of cool. Someone forgot the feature flag. Yes. And they recorded the demo. So yeah, that could be a very good point. So some of this I'm going to be covering inside of the Tech Insider update. So I will share the slide deck with everybody later. I know I had a handful of the interns helping me out there with those slides. So it just seems like it's getting harder and harder to keep on top of all the Wave 2 features or the Wave features, because there's so many of them and so many of them are good, but it's hard to identify what a good use case for a lot of these are. So yeah, I just wanted to share that.
The chat doesn't look like that yet. The chat doesn't look like that yet. That's
okay.
Wish it.
Let's cross our fingers. And what's interesting too is that I know that this is not omni-channel either. So like I know they're not teasing us in that regard. So let's cross our fingers, but a lot of exciting stuff. We'll be kind of showcasing more of this in future learning forums. And then as new stuff comes out, we'll make sure I post it in the general chat. So thanks everybody. Appreciate everyone's help into this and thank you for sharing.